face off between two of the world's superpowers, Russia and the United States, in a chess game filled with tension tonight. The eyes of the world still right here. On the one side, Europe. On the other, Russia, driven by strongman Vladimir Putin. And in the middle, Ukraine, Crimea, and an international tug of war. ABC's Martha Raddatz is traveling with the Secretary of State, and she is standing by. And ABC's chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, is also on the story tonight, starting us off with the latest on that crisis in Ukraine.
At Belbek Air Base here this morning, Ukrainian troops, unarmed, marched toward the Russian guns. And as they marched, they sang their national anthem. Confronting the Russians who had seized control of their base, forward under the Ukrainian flag they came. The Russians yelled, then fired. Warning shots, but the first shots fired here, then negotiations, and the Ukrainians withdrew, heads held high. It was a day of high tension. Russia test launching an ICBM like this one, a scheduled launch, but still a statement.
Mr. Kerry, welcome to Ukraine.
Nice to see you.
And in Kiev, the Ukrainian capital, 500 miles away, Secretary of State Kerry walked the streets where scores of Ukrainians died in protests last month, then praised their revolution.
What they stood for so bravely, I say with full conviction, will never be stolen by bullets or by invasions, and it's called freedom.
In Moscow, Vladimir Putin offered a different version, a different reality in an extraordinary appearance. The new Ukrainian government, illegitimate, he said. U.S. support for it was like running experiments on rats. And the U.S., he said, must stop encouraging what he called illegal change in the territory of the former Soviet Union. The Soviet Union shaped Putin, a loyal KGB officer for 15 years. And here is what his country looked like back then, a colossus. And this is how it shrunk when the Soviet Union collapsed, which Putin called the greatest catastrophe of the century. His worldview shaped by the loss of an empire.
He was born in a large Soviet space that encompassed a huge part of the Earth's landmass. They still called themselves Soviet, by which they mostly meant Russian.
President Obama said today that Putin, quote, isn't fooling anybody, but Putin is less interested in winning arguments than he is in shaping history. And with thousands of troops on the ground and in control here in Crimea now, he is doing just that. Diane?
Thank you, Terry. And as you said, Secretary of State John Kerry was on the ground in Ukraine today. And ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz is traveling with him and joining us right now. So, Martha, give it to us straight. Is the United States closer to conflict with Russia tonight or not?
Vladimir Putin, the bully Vladimir Putin, may already have gotten what he wants, Crimea. So it's very possible he won't push any further. This is the way that man negotiates. He is a bully. He is hammer-handed. This is how he operates.
But there are going to be meetings. They are negotiating?
There are negotiations going on. Tomorrow, Secretary Kerry will be meeting with the Russian foreign minister here in Paris. Secretary Kerry really wants to get this settled as soon as possible.
So at the end of the day, can the United States let Russia keep Crimea this way?
You know, a simple answer to that is Europe going to go to war over Crimea? The United States certainly won't, so that may well happen.
All right, Martha Raddatz, as we said, traveling with the Secretary of State, and thank you so much for joining us right now.